Hello, collective. It's Belana, Aspiraltotheself, Self, with another astrological energy update. If this is your first time here, please remember to like, share, and subscribe so that way you get notified of all content updates. I do the astrological forecast for each week. I do collective tarot readings every day, as well as collective short tarot readings that are meant to be like a daily motivational for you on what your higher self is trying to gather for you. Okay? I am also the author of The Princess and Her Inner Voice, which is a fairy tale about following your intuition, how it can be used to overcome all obstacles on your path, heal all traumas, from soul contracts or fated events, and how it can get you to your happy ending in whichever way that looks for you. You can find this book on online retailers such as Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Walmart, just to name a few, as well as on my website, www.aspiraltotheself.com. Okay, guys, so let's get started here. Judith, Falcha, Banate an Banja Ort. So that's Gaelic for hello, welcome. May the blessing of the goddess follow you. So before we get started, I'm going to cleanse the area as well as myself. I cleanse myself of any ill will, ill intent, and negative energies. Only goddess and positive energies may flow through as I channel. I call upon Anu. I call upon Maka. I call upon Bav, the Morgan, the Trinity Three, as well as my ancestors, my archangels, and the seen and unseen. Please protect me, the viewers, this video and channel, as I channel this divinely guided message, as well as interpretation of the stars, that any curses, hexes, evil eye will be dissolved, transmuted, and intervened with by the All-High. The sender will become known and unable to hide, and all their lies and deceits will be exposed. Yeah, so you send that shit, be prepared. You know what I'm saying? Okay, collective, let's get into it, okay? I know this week's been pretty intense, and it's just going to get more intense, okay? But it's going to get more intense in a good way, okay? Because, this week, we're going to get rid of one retrograde. So Saturn is going to go direct, okay, towards November 4th, okay? So the reviewing of past lessons in order to move forward. So view retrograde energies is like a rewind, like a rewind. So that way you get all the juicy little details, okay, before you can move forward. Well, whatever life lesson that has been prevalent for you in this retrograde is going to become complete, okay? You either learned the lesson or you didn't. If you learn the lesson, you get to move forward. If you didn't learn the lesson, then you are going to be in another karmic cycle, okay? But we are going to have a new retrograde. We're going to have Vesta go into retrograde until February 8th of 2024. Okay, so this is going to be a shift in dreams and goals and change in our residence, a transformation in our relationships with family in order to protect the home, hearth, and inner blame, okay? All about rebuilding your life, okay, relationships. Neptune retrograde. The veil is lifted, the truth is exposed, okay? All the lies, all the deceit, all the ugly out there, it's been exposed. People's masks have been forcefully ripped off, okay? Uranus retrograde, which is a wake-up call for independence and breakthroughs, okay? Because Uranus is in each zodiac sign for 7 years, okay? I believe it takes 84 years to do a complete orbit, okay? Which Uranus in itself is all about independence. It's all about revolution. It's all about liberation, okay? And if you look at certain aspects of Uranus throughout history, it becomes a major player with significant events, okay? For us, for this time frame, it's about breakthroughs and independence with family. I'll get more into it here in a second, okay? But it's going to give you an independence, it's going to give you a wake-up call with this information that you're getting with the Neptune retrograde and the Saturn retrograde. It's going to give you that wake-up call, and it's going to provide you that solution to break out of it, to liberate yourself, okay? Jupiter retrograde, which is wisdom, knowledge, and review of our beliefs around money, okay? So let's get into that. Okay, so overall, all this retrograde energy, let's get into that. So life lessons. When you are born, your soul, before you're born, decides what's going to happen to it. It's called your fated life, okay? You have to have these things called soul contracts. You either have soulmates, twin flames, karmics. Karmics are people who bring you some kind of life lesson through a way of pain, okay? Pain teaches people, okay? Unfortunately, it's what teaches, okay? So the life lessons for many of us, okay, has been around our families, okay? Because like on a collective level, I've talked about this numerous times in my videos, you know, like say if you are a spiralee, thank you for watching. I truly love you and I do this for you. Please know that. I spend so much time doing this. Like I am truly dedicated to you, okay? But for many of us, because Uranus is in Aquarius, okay? Uranus being in Aquarius means it's a time of revolution, time of liberation for freedom, okay? And many of us, it seems like when I told you the veil is lifted, the truth exposed, there's so many people out there that have done atrocities in the name of money. We're talking like the past 40 years, specifically against their own family. I don't know what happened to these people, like that were raised like from the 60s to the 80s, but they committed so much atrocities to their own children, okay? Like we're talking selling their kids to Satan, doing black magic on them so that way they'd be failures, so they wouldn't advance in life, so they'd be isolated and alone. Like we're talking this has happened on a global and collective level where these people did this. I don't know what happened to these parents, like say these people who grew up from the 60s to the 80s that became parents in the 90s. I guess mommy and daddy didn't love them. So I guess when they decided to have kids, they decided to sell their kids to demons, to do atrocities to them to get money. Like I said, this is on a collective level. Like we're talking human trafficking. We're talking black magic. You know, you had the satanic panic back in the 90s, okay? We're talking so many people saw their kids as an opportunity to level themselves up versus seeing them as an opportunity to love and to grow and to bring change to the world. That's why collective. That's why majority of the chosen ones were born in the 90s. That's why many of the chosen ones have went through a lot of trauma and went through a lot of like really terrible things that happened to them that they had to go through. Okay, so yes, we had the birth of technology. We had that. But we also had so much more done to us, okay, on a collective level. And astrologically, this was predicted. Astrologically, the time now has been provided for us to liberate ourselves from these terrible people, okay, these people who were doing things to you. Like I'm saying, like on a collective level, you had parents that took narcissism to the extreme. And narcissism already is an extreme. Like these people are devoid of feeling, devoid of empathy, devoid of accountability for themselves, devoid of anything that is human. They're walking demons, and many of these people summon them. Many of these people worship them, okay? And they would claim to be like, oh, I'm agnostic. Oh, I'm atheist. I don't believe in anything. That's not true. Not true. You don't know what people do behind closed doors, collective. You truly don't, okay? Truly, truly you don't. And many people, like I said, you got secret societies out there. We're taking kids, their own kids, say their members' kids, and they were sacrificing them, meaning they were siphoning their energy. They would put curses on their own fucking kids to make them nothing. To make them nothing. Like to give them depression, to make them feel like failures, that they were unworthy, that they were unloving. And you know what it's actually called? It's actually called emotional incest. It's because, from what I've gathered through, like psychology and stuff, just by observation here, that generation from the 60s to 80s didn't have parents that cared about them, didn't have parents around. They literally say they raised themselves. So there's a lot of trauma in that period, okay? A lot of trauma there. But when they became parents themselves, they didn't know how to handle that. Nor did they care to handle it, okay? But because they weren't loved as children themselves, they didn't have no one care for them, they tried to make their children like severely codependent on them. Meaning like, oh, I'm going to curse you to take away all your opportunities, all your chances of love, I'm gonna cripple your foundation for your stability, make it to where you can't earn money. I'm gonna make it to where you're isolated, you're alone. I'm gonna make it to where you hate yourself, to where like you don't think you're worthy of blessings, therefore blocking any and every blessing for you, so that way you always have to come to me. Okay? That's what these people did. It's emotional incest. Because they didn't get that emotional fulfillment back then, they did atrocities to get it now. Okay? And for many of us, the breaking of the cycle, the truth that's been exposed is that you knew this. Your family, your friends, your ex-lovers, people were doing terrible shit to you. Like my nose is itching, that could be your confirmation. Like people were doing terrible, terrible things to you. Okay, like I know I talk about my own experience, but understand it's on a collective level. Like I was raised by narcissists, a whole bunch of them. I was raised by people that worship demons and then tried to sell me to one. Meaning like I spent 30 years of my life being cursed, being hexed, having, my karmic family went to voodoo practitioners to figure out how to like essentially kill me without killing me. Like we're talking trying to unalive me, which means by magic. We're talking like trying to isolate me, trying to, make me feel unloved, unworthy, sending demons to my home to feed off me and my family, sending a curse my way when I was pregnant so that way I would relive everything traumatic that's ever happened to me that they put on my path. Like we're talking rape, domestic violence, child abuse, severe child abuse. Like the people who raised me were my physical bullies, but then they were also my spiritual bullies. Like trying to sever my contact to God, trying to sever my contact to my Akashic records, trying to sever my contact to my ancestors, okay? Like trying to separate me entirely in hopes that I would die. And why? This is going to go into the Jupiter retrograde energies for money. And so much of this has happened to you, collective. That's why I talk about it. Because you know what? Maybe sharing my story can help others. Okay? Because like it's on a collective level. And you've been told to be silent about it because people don't want their shame coming out. Well, if they didn't want their shame coming out, they should have acted differently. We all get choices in life, collective. We all get choices. These people chose wrong, like on every way. And astrologically, the stars is bringing these people to justice. We've had the eclipse season. Some of these people are getting eclipsed out. Okay? They're getting eclipsed out. And that's because they kept coming for you. They wouldn't stop. Like, we're just talking curse after demon, just over and over and over, trying to attack you, trying to kill you for money. Like, a lot of these people did it for money. Like inheritance. Something was left to you. Something was left to you. Or there was some kind of fraud where they took out a life insurance policy or something on you. And if you die, they collected the money, which is such an old thing, by the way. Like that happened in the 1800s and 1900s where people would just draw life insurance policies on other people and then would do things to them magically to kill them, or actually just hire people to go and kill them. And it was insurance fraud. Okay? Like, I'm surprised it's still even a thing with everything we got going on out there. But for me, it was inheritance. Somebody left money for me. And both my parents, people who raised me, tried to kill me for it. Like we're talking, this inheritance came out in increments throughout my life, meaning I was supposed to be set up for my whole life. Okay? And they already spent the money. They did something. Like I said, the corruption that has been exposed through these retrogrades with our justice system, with our justice system, and these major companies. It's been exposed of what these people did. Like we're talking paying cops, paying judges, paying investigators off, paying, notaries off to forge documents so they can get it. Okay, we're talking that. And it's like, my family knows exactly who I am now. Like, they tried so hard to destroy me in every possible way. Like, we're talking they even tried to kill my kids. Kill my kids. I have a 6 and a 7-year-old. Because I'm a seer, because I can read energy, I felt it. You know, like I've done Reiki on my kids before, you know, like if they felt all out of turmoil. And my eldest daughter, when I did Reiki on her once, the repetitive phrase that came over was, "You're a loser, you're a loser, you're a loser." My home's very self-loving, very self-worth. Literally wrote a book about it, right? Who told that to you? Who made you feel that way about yourself? And my child would just break down, and it's like, and then we would see things like how my karmic family showed my kids a video, a show of a mother and father having some kind of suicidal homicide, and a little girl walking out and seeing her parents die, and then the grandparents raising them. My karmic family showed that to my children, along with telling them that, oh, well, if you choose us, you'll live a life of bliss. You won't, you won't have to do anything. And you know what? That became so apparent when we ran. We cut them off completely. We grabbed our kids and we ran. We went to a different school and everything, different life. It became so apparent to us how the emotional incest, the codependency was so rooted. My kids had no accountability. Why? My karmic family worked for a school system. They literally bullied teachers. They bullied the staff to not make my kids have to do anything. And I didn't really find that out until I tried to give my karmic mother something for her birthday, because she's a narcissist, so she likes public attention. So I bought cupcakes for her entire department. Not one person took one. Not one person. She got every single one of them. Sad, it's beyond sad. But then it just became apparent to me, when I went through the process of doing that for her, how much people loathed her, how much people hated her. Because just to get the order in, there was a lot of loathe. I could sense it, I could hear it, and I could feel it, just to place the order. And then the fact that was the result, switching the schools, we saw exactly what kind of harm came to my kids. But then on an energy level, trying to kill them. Because they wanted me to be alone and isolated. They tried to kill my animals. They've, sent demons and shit to my home. So my first husband literally almost lost his mind. But now, it's they literally tried to unalive my kids. So, in the beginning, they told me to abort both my kids. Each time I told them I was pregnant. Got it on videotape. Told me to abort my kids. But then later, they're like, oh, we want them. We want to see them. Why? It was because my kids came with protection. If my kids were at their house, 1, they could siphon their energy, and 2, it meant nothing tragic would befall them because of their karma. Okay? Once my kids were gone, karma. Tower hit after tower after tower kept hitting. They're reaping all of it. They have no spiritual protection. You do low vibrational shit like voodoo, you have no spiritual protection. Don't be calling on no Archangel Michael to come protect you. He's going to be the one who hunts you down. Right? He's going to be the one who hunts you down. Because trust and believe, nobody who's doing that kind of stuff is doing it for a positive nature. Okay? You want to talk about power? Power is manifesting positive change. Anybody can summon a demon. Anybody can take the life of an animal to give as a sacrifice. Anybody can cause chaos. You know what true power is? Creating positive change. Creating a positive reality. Being part of the awakening. And that's what you are, collective. You're part of the awakening. The awakening. Where the 2 different timelines to get to higher consciousness have merged. And if you are a chosen one, an earth angel, a starseed, that's your job. And you went through shit like this so you could understand. Okay? Like I said, reading my kids' energy, when you send magic to someone, it's not immediate. It takes a little time. It's I had to spend the retrograde time de-hexing and de-cursing my kids because I had people literally trying to unalive them. They're innocent. Just like you, just like me. They were innocent and I had these people try to do that to them. You know what I'm saying? And life lessons. Let's talk about that. Life lessons. Collective, just know you've had to go through at least 2 or 3 lessons, tests in 2023. Okay? And tests are usually about your integrity in situations. For me, mine was, like I said, I've had a high-paying job. I've worked for big names such as Amazon, such as FedEx. I did jobs as international supply chain, meaning I'm known worldwide. I'm known worldwide. Okay? To work for the employer that I work for, I had to pass his genius test. So the 3rd richest man in the world declared me a genius. And I don't say that to be conceited. I'm just making a point here in a second. Okay? 3rd wealthiest man in the world declared me a genius because I had to be interviewed for 7 hours by 5 people who all had to give me essentially a 100% score on whatever test they had for me. Okay? And understand, I am highly respected in the corporate world. I have a name for myself. I've got a great name for myself because I always had integrity in situations. No matter what happened, I chose the right thing to do. Meaning like corruption, meaning greed, trying to cook the books, trying to do terrible things to people. I chose the right side. So for this high-paying job, my test was, what are you willing to do? Like, the man I worked for, he knew who I was. He knew I was very psychic. Him and my husband at the time depended on my skill. They knew all about me. I didn't tell them, but they knew all about me in the way that when I spoke, they listened. My field, when I spoke, people listened. I talked to China every day. I talked to Ireland every day. I talked to Germany every day. I talked to the Middle East every day, like every day. And when I spoke, people listened. Why? Because I was fair, I was just, and I honored my word, okay? And I would not tolerate any kind of like injustices. So my test at the time was my boss was being sacrificed by my job. And I knew about it, and I worked very hard to build up his case for him. You know, like, I truly, if I think you're a good leader, I'll go to hell for you, you know? If I think you're a good leader, I'll go to hell for you. And my boss was being set up. It wasn't me. I wasn't on the chopping block. But he was being set up. My company went through a drastic layoff, okay? A drastic layoff where they were just laying off people left and right. And him, the plan was from his boss, who also highly respected me, who also listened to everything that I said. Like, we're talking when they trusted my insights so much that when they were asked a question, and if we were in the same meeting, they would let me, who was an L4, speak for an L7. Okay? I'm not going to say the name of the company just because, like, I'm not trying to get any kind of issues, but an L7 would trust what I, an L4, said. So meaning when he was asked a question, I would instant message him the answer, and as soon as he got the message, he'd read it, like, off. Kind of trust, okay? The plan was to get rid of my boss and put me in power, because I was up for promotion before I left. Like, I was up for promotion, but they wanted me to have his job. They tried to sacrifice him, though. They put him in this program that essentially should have protected him from any kind of layoff. Like, he should have had his day in court, so to speak. And we worked very hard to make sure his case was sound and solid. He never got his day in court because they laid off everybody in HR before he even got it. Like, before he even got to his court date, you know? You know how they fired him? An email to his personal email that looked like a scam, like one of those fishy emails. Imagine losing your stability through an email. No one telling you you're fired. You just get locked out of your computer. You get locked out of everything, and you find out later through your personal email, oh, hey, we fired you. So my test collective was a leap of faith to do this full time, to be a full-time author, to go in that calling, to be a spiritual leader of some kind. That was my test of faith. Test of faith, leap of faith, okay? And I jumped. When I got put in that situation, I was like, these aren't the people I want to work for. How can I look at you knowing that you were doing shit like that? You know, like, and by sacrificing people, like, trust and believe that the new guys, like, say, the tech guys, they're still getting sacrificed to. It's just in different ways. They sacrifice your mind. They sacrifice your mentality. Like, my boss had to go through literally, like, some kind of, I'm trying to think of the word. It's like Roman times. He had to basically have a ring full of people try to cut him down with words, telling him how he sucked at his job. He had to sit there and take that. His peers were put up to it. They had to protect themselves, had to tell him how much he sucked. And he was highly respected too, like on a global level. So it's like, that was my test. And I took my leap of faith, okay? Unbeknownst to me, I mean, I knew quite a bit, but that's when I got heavily spiritually attacked, was during that time. And if I didn't take that leap of faith, I would have lost everything. But because I listened to myself, I'm coming out on top. Because people that's been spiritually attacking you collective, they were cowards. They worked in groups to take you down. Like, and they just didn't like that you shone. They didn't like that you were doing you, you know? And like why I mentioned the global part, it's like I had people out here, like I said, I'm highly respected. I'm highly respected in the spiritual community. I'm highly respected in the corporate community, globally. Okay, people know my name. My book is internationally sold. People know me. People know my name. People know what I stand for, okay? I had a handful of haters, handful. We even include my karmic family here, that wanted to ruin my reputation when they didn't even have reputations themselves. And collective, it's like, what pissed them off the most about me was that I was unbothered. I was unfazed. You know why I'm unfazed? One, I can see their future. Like, I know I outlive every single one of them. I know what happens to them if they are allowed to live. Like during this eclipse season stuff, I know within my own karmic family, there's gonna be at least 3 deaths. It's gonna go extreme sickness. It's go one right after the other. They're not gonna do it at the same time. It'll be one right after the other. And then there's gonna be death. And I even know the individual this is gonna be. And the ones who are allowed to live are gonna be in severe poverty. And it's gonna pass on to their kids. Like I said, if they think they're gonna take whatever information they have to the grave, that's fine. It'll just keep getting passed on. Like my karmic brother almost died last year. So my cousin, same thing. It's not a coincidence. Like I said, when I tell you that the divine's putting pressure on people and relationships and groups to get them to bring justice for what they've taken from you, to do the right thing, that's what I mean. These people have enacted their own generational curse on their own families for what they've done for money. They've enacted their own generational curse. So yeah, if you want to, take your little secret to the grave, that's cool. Your kid's next. Your auntie, your uncle, your nana, your mommy, your daddy. And you know what? I have no empathy for it. You want to make somebody completely cold towards you? Try to kill their kids. Try to kill them. See how much pity they have for you when your life is completely destroyed because you're reaping the karma from trying to destroy other people's. Like, you can cry in front of me, that's cool. I will not feel a tear, a shed of empathy for you. Because anytime you were given a test of integrity, you chose wrong. You chose to hurt people instead. I didn't. I wouldn't know what that's like. And no, my life hasn't been anywhere close to glamorous. Like I said, I've had people send me curse after curse since I was 4 years old. Demon after demon since I was 4. And they keep, like what I've heard, is, oh, she gets everything she wants. She's so spoiled. Oh, I'm spoiled? You wouldn't last a fucking day in my shoes. You can't even survive your own curses. Do you think you could survive a groups? Multiple times? Do you think you could? Do you think you could? Like these people that are saying it about me, these nothings. Like I said, these people didn't even graduate high school. These people are like prostitutes. These people are incels living at mommy and daddy's home, trying to tear down my reputation. Like, You have no reputation. You have no respect. Why the F would I care about what you have to say? You know? Why would I care? You're nobody. You're nothing. You're such a nobody and nothing that you had to go and do voodoo to try to think that you were going to bring me down to your level. Telling me I'm spoiled. I get everything I want. Oh, okay. Well, you can't even survive your own curse. You can't even survive the own being you summoned. Know what I'm saying? So collective, that's what it is, okay? We are closing out a cycle. So the eclipses is to close out a cycle. And you got Vesta retrograde, which is about protecting the home. So severing relationships, okay? And part of my gifts here recently has been to reach out to people, certain people that were in my own soul tribe, like not just random people, you know, but people that I've known. But I get downloads about them. And then I was communicated to by the divine to tell them. Because majority of you guys, like I said, you have no idea how many people in your community have been targeting you, have been throwing illusions on the community, throwing illusions on your own justice system, throwing illusions on you to make you feel like a failure, putting you in depression. So many people have done this. And it's this generation, the millennials, that are here to shatter it. We're here to shatter the illusion, okay? And so with my abilities here recently, it was to notify people. Like I'd have a download about them, and then I would go, hey, you know, this is gonna sound crazy to you, like, but I'd rather give you the warning and you not need it than you need it and I not give it to you because out of fear, you know, that you're gonna reject what I say. Like I have full belief in what I can do, you know. I have full belief in my abilities. I don't need any validation from nobody, okay? But I would reach out to them and be like, hey, here's what the download I had said. It said this, this, and this, and these people would go. Some of these people are separate sides of the country as me. Some I've never met, but I've spoken to a lot, you know. Connected through the collective consciousness, you know, we've spoken. Some of them I haven't seen in over a year, okay? I get the download, and I would be obedient my calling. And because those were also my tests to see if I had faith, tests to see if I was willing to do my job, you know. There's a I'll get into that in a second. I'll talk about that in a second. I don't want to derail. But I reach out and I would tell them this, and they go, oh, you know what? Like, this has been happening to me. I've been feeling like this. You know, I've been listening to you. You know, I've been watching your videos, and like, it's making me think about things. And shattering illusion. These people were under witchcraft. And it was me. Like, I think I've notified 5 people. They were under witchcraft. Somebody did something to them. And they watched me, and it clicked. Like, But then, like, when I notified them, like, oh, shit. And so my job was to be like, okay, well, here's how you get rid of it. Here's what you do. Here's how you do this. Well, and you also got to cut off all these people, you know, because if you are still attached to these people that have been doing this to you, which you know who they are, you know who they are. Your intuition's picked up on it, okay? Somebody, like I said, these are your family. These are your friends. These are your ex-lovers. You got to cut them all out because, you know, when they go through their karma, anybody around them is going to reap that karma. Like, my karmic family, my parents, they're walking curses. You know, like how in the little kid movies with pirates, you got the black spot on the hand, which means you're doomed to death. That's mine. Anybody associated with them, anybody around them will share in their misfortune because they are marked. They're so marked that when they go to voodoo priestesses now to try to pay to kill me, nobody will take them. Nobody will accept their money. So now I got my own karmic father trying to figure out how to do voodoo. Like, it's a 50-year-old man trying to study the occult to see if there's any opportunity to still latch on to my energy so he doesn't have to go completely broke and die from what he's done to not just me, but to so many people to get his little bit of wealth he had. Collective. Like, collective. But that's what it's all about. It's like following your calling. A lot of you are being chosen to be spiritual leaders. to shatter the illusion around you. And you know what happens? It's like me reaching out to those people. Now they're going to reach out to other people. Now they're going to reach out to more people, and it becomes a rippling effect. And that's how you get an awakening. That's how you get people to wake up, okay? That's how you save people. So imagine if you're in a completely black room, like there's no lights, you're in complete darkness. You are that torchbearer. You're the one with the light, okay? You go up to people and you grab them. All right, come on, sis. Come on, bro. We're walking. We're getting out. We're not staying here. And then more people see the light and they flock to it like moths. And that's how you get these people out, okay? Like that's what this is all about. That's what astrologically is happening on a global scale, is people are waking up. People are getting out of the darkness that they were on, okay? Because like, you have no idea how many people were doing this to people. How many people were targeting their own communities, targeting their own families, targeting their own kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're closing out cycles. That's what this eclipse is. Closing out cycles. A new cycle's here. And with this Vesta retrograde that's coming, that's going to be here till February, it's going to be cutting off family. Cutting off people that pose a danger to your family. Okay? And when it comes to like accepting the call, when it comes to this, like, I'm self-taught for the most part here. The videos, the editing, with the astrology, everything. I'm self-taught. I get my inspiration like everybody does. You know what I do? I don't curse people. I don't hex people that are more successful than me. I go, I like that trait they have. How do I get it? Show me. And then I learn. I take the approach as a student. I take the approach as, please, teach me. And then they teach me, and I show this thing called gratitude. I go, thank you. Thank you. You know, like when I was learning how to do the collective tarot readings, I watched some of the successful ones, and I saw what they did. And then I formulated how I wanted to do things, how I could take what I learned and to incorporate it into what I wanted to do, right? I didn't copy nobody. I didn't hex nobody to take their spot. No, you know what I did? Thank you for sharing your gifts. Some of them I even sent copies of my book to. Because it's like, you know, you shared your gifts with me, I'm sharing my gift with you. Thank you. Some of them, like, I even try to go on their platform to give them encouragement, to give them, like, to recommend them, even if I don't have time. You know, like some of the people in the community that I'm talking about, like, I don't have time to look at their shit. We're not even on the same, like, not level, but we're not on the same messages now. Like, and you're not supposed to be. We all have different paths, right? But I still would take time to show them support, because that's what you're supposed to do. Spirituality is not a competition. Spirituality is a journey. It's a spiral to the self, the mastery of the self. That is what spirituality is. These people out here who are competing, though, thinking they're going to monopolize spirituality by trying to take everybody out that's not them, they're not enlightened. They're definitely not on the path of light, that's for sure. You know? And it's being illuminated. Like these people that were doing this shit to people, these opportunists, that's what's being illuminated to people. Okay, oh, shit, this person was preying on me. Shit, you know, like, okay. Well, there's one lady that I watched, she's a priestess. There is a phrase that she said, her name's Maji, and she says, if God's gonna hire me, who's gonna fire me? Meaning, if you don't like my abilities, take that shit up with God. You don't like what I do? You don't like my spirituality? You don't like the gifts I have? You don't like that I'm highly intuitive? You don't like that? Take it up with God, because that's exactly who you're facing when you attack me. You know? You're literally challenging God. You think you are above God, because he's the one who gave him to me. You don't like that I'm intuitive? You don't like that I'm chosen? You don't like that? Like, take it up with God. Take it up with God. And you know what? Who I serve is undefeated. I serve the All-High. I serve Banja and I serve God. And you know what? They're undefeated. Undefeated. These little people with their Decepticons, with their lower entities, their demons, whatever. Who I serve is undefeated. And challenging me and what I'm doing for them, my assignment from the All-High is a direct challenge to them. And that's what I'm telling you, chosen ones. That's what I'm telling you, collective. Like, if you're following your path, you're doing what you're supposed to do, you're supposed to embrace that. Have courage to do it. Because you know what? Anybody who's trying to fuck with you, you're their walking karma. You're their test. And if they do that shit to you, they're directly challenging God. And that's why these people are getting dramatically sick. That's why these people are losing everything they have in like a day. That's why these people are being heavily investigated for their fraud. They challenged God. They thought they were above him. They thought they were above her, you know, the all high. They thought they were above the universe. I talk about ego. That's what the close of the cycle is, okay? It's the close of a cycle. And like say, astrologically, like I watched a couple people, like I would do my own messages, I would do my own translation, and then I would check myself. And then later on, see, when I took a leap of faith on myself, I left my corporate career. I went to school for astrology. I took a college course from a Russian man. I can't say his name, it's like Alexander or something. I think it starts with a V, his last name does. Something Kov, something. But I went to school for it. I got the little bit I needed, and then I was like, you know what, I want to learn how to read birth charts. I want to do this. I want to know how to do that. And then I invested in myself. You know what? I didn't try to kill the guy that taught me. I showed gratitude. That's what you're supposed to do. Show gratitude for the opportunity. Show gratitude for being blessed. That's how you keep reaping your blessings. Okay, and I know I've been talking a little bit about this, but that's like the retrogrades in a nutshell. That's what's going to happen until February of next year. Okay, that's your overview. Now let's get into just this week. Okay, so you have October 30th to November 5th. October 30th, the moon is going to be in Gemini, so you're going to have an intuitive spark that's initiated by conversations to provoke our curiosity. This is going to be a time to reconnect with your lover, your children, and the luxury of time. Like this whole week's all about like your relationships, nesting, being home, paying attention to the home. Like I said, you got Vesta retrograde, which is about protecting the home, severing relationships, okay, that would ruin your ability to protect your home, okay? October 31st, Venus trines Uranus. So this is going to be the freedom to be ourselves in relationships, so being our most authentic self, especially focusing on loving ourselves, okay? By surrendering to our deepest truth and sharing it with potency, okay? November 1st, the moon's going to be in Cancer. So reaping of good luck, karma, and bringing harmony and emotional healing to the home. November 2nd, Vesta's going to be in retrograde, and it's going to be in the sign Cancer. And then the sun is going to be in opposition to Jupiter. Intense energy dividing our loyalties between opportunities of expansion and if it's the best for us and our family. This is the opportunity you've been waiting for. The answer is yes. Okay, the answer is yes. Use your intuition, though, in case you have an opportunist out there who listens to me who's trying to prey upon you. But the answer is yes. November 3rd, Venus opposition Neptune. It's a powerful time of personal transition in which specific details will be revealed in our relationships that will shatter the illusions placed around the attainment of our dreams. Like I said, if you were told by your family your whole life that you'll never amount to anything, or your calling that you're doing, they made fun of you, or something like that, it's gonna be shattered. Whatever illusion that's been placed on you to make you doubt yourself, it's gonna be shattered. November 4th, Saturn goes direct, and Mercury will be in opposition to Uranus, and the moon will be in Leo. So the life lesson that you needed to understand is now up on this day, okay? So you either learn the lesson and you're moving forward to fulfill your destiny, or you didn't learn your lesson and now you're going to reap a karmic cycle. You're going to go through the same shit again until you understand, okay? So like I said, integrity in situations. If you didn't pass this test with relationships, you're going to get another one that's exactly just like it to do again. That's why it never pays to be deceitful to people. Never pays to prey on people, because it's going to happen to you again. Double whammy, you know? And this is going to be a day of intuitively pursuing what makes us happy and our freedom. However, conversations may cause disharmony or insecurity around this. Okay, like I said, this illusion that's been placed on you has been shattered, okay? And this, you're in a completion of a cycle. We're in a new cycle, okay? We're in a new cycle. We're in a new part. We're in a new timeline, okay? And the people that have been dealing with this, that's getting their tower moments now for being like POSs to other people, they're going to come to you and they're going to talk to you. They're going to go, hey, my life sucks. They're going to play a pity party. Like I said, understand, they are not sorry for what they did to you. They are only sorry that they're now paying for it and that they got caught. They were not sorry they did it to you. In fact, they were celebrating. Ha-ha! Yeah. They were celebrating, making plans, premeditating things, praying and hoping for your death. Don't feel sorry for them. Not at all. And because I mentioned most of this stuff earlier, like in the beginning, before I went to the weekly astrologicals, I spent a lot of time on the retrograde. But why it was so important is because this week, the chakra that's going to be mostly impacted is the soul star chakra. So it's like right here. It's 1.5 inches above your head. Okay. This is the portal chakra. That's a portal from into and outside of space. So this is where our book of life comes into, okay? So the positive perspectives of what has occurred to be able to read the past, present, or future. This is the chakra of your Akashic records. This is the chakra of your shadow lessons, meaning like traumas that have happened to you that you have to forgive. So you are no longer bound to the past. Because that's what's happened on a collective level when I was telling you about witchcraft and stuff. There has to be a seed planted in you to exploit. So if it's not in you, if you don't have any trauma, there's nothing to attach a spell to you that would make you relive the trauma, okay? So a lot of the illusion was placed on attacking your traumas, making you relive childhood wounds. Because like I said, apparently from the 90s on, people were just trying to inflict childhood wounds on their kids in the 5D and 3D, okay? They were just all around bullies. And then they tried to further that when you got older so you would be entirely dependent on them. But if you heal that part of yourself, you tap into it, you forgive, not make them less accountable, but forgive as in like you're not harboring it inside yourself. There's no resentment. There's no negative emotions attached to it anymore that would keep you stuck, that would keep you reliving it, okay? This is our clear energy conduit when we decide not to absorb other people's energies, okay? Like being able to absorb other people's energies. Like I said, if they're walking curses, if they're walking demons around, like believe it or not, you can carry that shit home with you. If you're not selective on who you're around, what you see, who you talk to, like who basically has the privilege to be around your presence, you can absorb other people's energy. You can absorb their karma. You can absorb that. This is why that chakra is so important with like all the retrograde energies, with all of this, okay? It's how you free yourself from this illusion, okay? It's how you free yourself. The yang function of this chakra is how we are living out our karma. The yin is its ability to hold memory and serve as our personal scribe. Like this is where all memory is, from your past, present, your future, also your previous lives. Okay, how you can get in contact with that. You know, whatever you didn't heal from a previous life gets carried on. And believe it or not, these people that were attacking you are soul contracts. You've done this before. That's why like I was so unbothered by it. It's like, I've defeated you in every life. This is literally the same battle. This is literally the same battle that we've done in every life, and you have not survived it. This life is no different. You were supposed to learn your lesson. You were supposed to not turn to the dark. You were supposed to not try to kill me this time. You were supposed to try to build with me. But no, you chose wrong. And now you're going to reap the same thing. Like say the distorted masculine that like was stalking me. It's like this man hasn't lived past 30 in any life because he's done the same shit. That's why he doesn't have any more wisdom past 30. That's why he can't make sound decisions. That's why he's so naive. That's why he's so like... My spirit guides would call him adorable, and that's old-timey for either punk bitch or brand new. Like, he hasn't lived past 30. He's never lived a full life because he couldn't learn the lesson. Couldn't learn the lesson about money, about greed, about power. And a lot of these people, it's the same shit. Like, they couldn't learn, hey, the human experience isn't about just being in power, man. Hey, the human experience isn't about trying to steal everybody's money, bro. Like, that's not what the human experience is about, okay? It's about the beauty and everything. It's about, yeah, you have your ups, you have your downs, you grieve, you laugh, you cry, you're happy. Not witchcraft, not hurting people. That's not the human experience. That's not the human experience. Going to Satan or demons to inflict pain on people is not the human experience. But these people, The ones who are being eclipsed out made the same wrong decision every lifetime with you. That's why I told you for this current week, okay? Like with the lunar eclipse. They're being eclipsed out. You're being called to fight. But you've done this before. This is deja vu for you. You've already done this because you have. This is part of your soul star chakra. Past. These people didn't learn the lesson from the past. Their pasts. So then they repeated that shit in another life. Just like if they're allowed to reincarnate, they'll repeat the same shit in another life. Except they'll be worse off. Like if they think they're poor now, they're going to be really poor in the next life. People are just, I don't know. This is the chakra of all past knowledge, karmic memory, and access to other dimensions and times, okay? This is our soul relationships, soul contracts. This is the chakra that regulates our destiny points, decisions our soul made before our birth regarding life events, okay? And also our ability to change these decisions. So the difference between your fated life and your destiny life. Your fated life is what you have to go through. Your destiny life is what your soul chooses. Okay? Misalignment of this chakra leads to metabolic disorders, toxic relationships, chronic problems, and disease. Any problem carried over from a previous life. Addictions from this chakra stem from absorbing other energies. Okay? So craving substances, drugs, stimulants, and depressives to compensate. To cleanse this though, say by way of diet, having the shaman diet, which is to eat healthy, pure food with little sugar and little salt. It's going to detox your body, okay? Quit smoking. Quit drinking. Quit filling yourself with caffeine. Quit filling yourself with sugar. Quit filling yourself with things to numb yourself. It's not doing you any favors, trust me. And the people that are giving those to you want you to be stuck. They don't want you to ascend. They don't want you to be part of the awakening. They want you in the muck with them where they can take advantage of you and you know, because misery loves company. If you want a better life and you feel like this is what's going on with you, cleanse your body. Shaman diet. Okay? I know I kind of went in a lot, but this is a lot. Like this is a big pivotal moment for us on a collective level. It's a big pivotal moment, not just on a week, but like astrologically for a time period, this cycle, this season. Like it's a big time. So I appreciate you guys watching me, okay? Thank you for the likes, thank you for the subscribes, you know, and I really appreciate you guys who have reached out to me, like the messages saying, you know what, I watched your show, like it really helped me, you know, I was in a situation and, you know, I chose myself, I did this, I did that, you know, like I'm truly grateful for you, thank you. Thank you for letting me know. Like, I truly appreciate that. It means a lot to me, because like I said, I do this for you. Like, I am a servant to the divine, I am a servant to the collective, okay? Like, and I chose that, and that's honestly the path that saved my life, was doing that. It was what saved my life, it saved my kids' lives, it saves my husband's life, was choosing my calling, submitting, surrendering to my soul purpose, okay? And like I said, if you want to know what your purpose is supposed to be, really get into your birth chart. Be careful who you have read to you your birth chart, because like I said, there's lots of opportunists out there, but like, figure out what it is that you're supposed to do here. Figure out where, which house is where you find your success. For me, it was the unconscious. The unconscious is where I get all my money, is hidden knowledge of the unconscious. What I'm doing now, like reading the stars, reading energy. Like I said, I'm a certified Reiki practitioner. I'm not accessible from the public though. Like I control who comes around me and my energy and my home. Like if you came to me, you were referred to me. But like I didn't charge you for it. I healed you. Like the people that have come to me were referred to me and they'd sit with me for about 3 hours. Like I'd heal their energy and then I would tell them what I saw when I touched their energy. And then it would be a form of release for them. You know, like they would cry. I've had people cry on me, you know, because they had all this trauma, they had all this stuff pent up inside of them, or it was blocked from their awareness. They didn't know that this was a problem for them. It's like, well, this is what's in your energy. And then we talk about it and I listen, you know, like, so following your soul purpose is how you get your blessings. It's how you save your life, essentially. And then you help save others. Like, that's a rippling effect. It's how we awaken. It's how we go from the 3D to 5D. Co-creating with the divine. Okay, guys, well, you have a wonderful week. And it may seem a little hard for you, but I know you can do this. You made it this far, fuck. Like, you'll get it. Like, you'll be fine. Okay? Mila Boykas. 1,000 thanks. Stay tuned for a little snippet of the Princess and her inner voice.